This one here is probably one of the most exciting sales I got. Hey YouTube, welcome to the channel here. My name's Rob. I'm Chesapeake Picker. I buy and sell stuff at thrift stores and garage sales and flip it onto eBay and Mercari for profits. Thanks for checking out my channel here. Please remember to hit that like and subscribe button so you can check out more content. Drop me a comment down below. Let me know if there's anything that you want to see in these videos, or if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them. Had a really busy week so far, got a lot of things going out, so let's get right to it. I'm going to show you what's sold. All right, so the first thing I got here is this Guitar Hero Gibson guitar. This thing is not new in the box, but it had the box, it had a game with it and everything like that. I got this from a friend at work, and she just wanted to get rid of this stuff. So I put this up for, I had $150 or best offer. Prices had started to drop on this item. These are still hot items. If you have Guitar Hero stuff or Rock Band stuff, get it up there quick. But they had started to fall, at least on this particular model. I got an offer for $115 plus shipping, and I went ahead and accepted that. All right, next up I got a lot of records here. This is Roger Miller, a lot of 3 records, and these sold for $15 plus shipping. I think I talked about these in a sourcing video a while back. I picked up these 2 backpacks. They were American Red Cross. They were new with the tags. I got them for $2.98. I almost walked out without them. I put these up for $59.99 plus shipping, and I got an offer from a buyer. They wanted to know if they would sell, or if I would sell them both for $90 plus shipping, and I went ahead and accepted that. So I made $90 off of a $6 investment. I'd say that's a pretty good return right there. If you've been watching this channel, you may have seen me push out some California raisins that I had picked up at the store. These came with that same sale. This is a lot of ET figures, and these sold for $11.99 plus shipping. Another item I picked up at garage sale a few weeks ago, I got a whole bunch of wicker baskets. The first one I had sold a few weeks ago, and then this one here sold. This is the best one of the lot. I picked these up for about 50 cents a piece. The lady made me a bundle deal, so I can't say exactly how much they cost, but let's just call them 50 cents. And this one sold for $19.99 plus shipping. Shipping on that was almost $10, so person's like $30 in on this basket. So if you see these things out of garage sales, don't pass up on them. Give them a chance. They're big, they're bulky, they're kind of a pain to pack up, but they can net some pretty good profits if people want them. Next up, I got this UFC Ultimate Fighter DVD. I picked these up at a thrift store for $1.98, and it sold for $15 plus shipping. One of my sourcing videos at garage sales this week, I showed you a Pink Floyd DVD that I had picked up. I thought I had priced this a little bit higher, I think I said in the video, but it did sell for $11.99 with free shipping. So I spent $1 on it, so still a decent profit there. Got this Nike dry fit hat. I got this at a thrift store for about $3, and it sold for $14.95 plus shipping. Another Nike here. This is a Nike dry fit men's shirt, size XL, and it went out for $17.99 with free shipping. I have about $2 into this one. My last what sold video, I showed you the pull-up bar that I sold. I sold another one of these that I had. This was for $39.99 plus shipping. I think I have $2 or $3 into this. And again, with this one, I disassembled it and shipped it out to save on the cost, because these things are pretty big. And once you get over that like 40 inch mark, your prices on shipping tend to go up quite a bit. So I was able to save this. And this one only went to North Carolina, so it wasn't very far. So it only cost about $8-9 to ship out. So that's a pretty good profit on that one. This one here is probably one of the most exciting sales I got. I picked this up from a friend. He's got a ton of stuff, a lot of video game stuff. He buys it, never really plays with it or anything, and just kind of keeps it all around. So he wanted to declutter, so I offered to take a lot of his stuff on consignment. So when I do consignment deals, I do a 50-50 split minus costs. So after eBay and PayPal fees, we split that profit 50-50. This is an NCAA 2014. This is a definite BOLO item. Shortly after this, college football changed the rules and you were not allowed to use player likenesses in items, so these items don't exist anymore, at least not now. They've made some changes to that, so we may see a change in that in the future, but for right now, these are a hot item. So, you know, who knows what he paid for this. back in the day, probably 30, 40 bucks. I put it up for $150 with free shipping, and it sold almost immediately. Within about an hour of listing, this thing flew out. There was about 2 comps recent for it that were pretty high. There was like a 135 and a 155, so I kind of figured I'd go towards that higher end and see what happened. And it went fast. He's got a 2013 for me now that he just dug out of the attic, so I'm gonna get that from him this week and get that put up quickly before the market dries up on those. So if you see these games, pick them up. NCAA football is hot. So I got this Venus VCR remote. I picked this up for about 75 cents at a thrift store. People, for some reason, like to have remotes to their old VCRs. VCRs are vintage now, so people like to collect them and stuff like that, but they usually can't find the remotes. So if you see them out and about, you can usually get them cheap. This one went out for $13.99, and that was with free shipping. So I have less than $1 into it. It cost about $3 to ship out. So, you know, we probably made about $8 in profit after eBay fees and things like that. So sold this Corningware stone French white microwave bowl, basically like a big coffee mug. This went out for $5.95 plus shipping. I got about $1 into it at either a thrift store or a garage sale. I can't remember where I picked that up. I think I'm kind of going to get out of the dishware. I still have a lot, so you're probably going to see some in some what sold videos going forward. But unless you have super collectible stuff, it doesn't really sell for a ton of money. It's kind of a pain in the butt to pack up and ship out. Sure, there's money to be made. I mean, I spent $1, sold it for almost $6 plus shipping. So, you know, I did profit several times over on my initial investment. I don't know if it's worth it for how long these things tend to sit. I got 2 of these. I listed them separately. So I still got one that hopefully you'll see in a future video, but I don't really think this is an item I like selling. You know, if you're going to sell things, I think you have the best success with things that you're passionate about selling or you enjoy selling. Like for me, I like listing toys, I like listing video games, sports stuff, and that stuff tends to move. I have a pretty good eye for it out when I see it for the most part, and that's kind of like what I like to move. I also like anything I can turn a profit on, so you see a lot of random things on here, but hey. Also sold this lot of Oak Ridge Boys cassette tapes. This is a lot of 7 that I picked up at that estate sale I went to a while and got all my vinyl records and cassettes from, and these sold for $7.99 plus shipping. And those went out in media mail in just a 8x6x4 box with a little bubble wrap around them to protect those jewel cases, and that's an easy shipper. Got another wicker basket here. This one was not a big seller. It only sold for $5.99, but again, I have 50 cents into it. So in theory, I made a good profit on this, but I screwed up. So when you're setting your dimensions and stuff like that and your weight, make sure you set them correctly. When you're listing things, they tend to default to a 7x4x4 box. When you're listing on your phone, which is where I list all of my items, and I didn't change this one. I put in the weight correctly at about 2 pounds, but I didn't put the dimensions in, and this thing is tall. It's got this big handle on it. So after I put the dimensions on this, what went for somebody paying $9.99 for, they wanted $24 to ship out from eBay. Well, selling something with $24 in shipping when I only made about $17 on it with the shipping cost doesn't really work for me. So I went ahead and I switched this up to FedEx, and I was able to ship it out a little cheaper at about 12 bucks. So I really only made about $1 onto this. You tack on my eBay fees and I gave this thing away. But it's not worth canceling the transaction for. I've been selling a lot of things. I'm really not worried about a few pennies in profit. So, hey, if you're watching, enjoy your basket. It's on me. Got this Nike Pro Fit shirt. It's a men's size 2X. I picked this up at a thrift store for about $1 to $2, and it sold for $11.99 plus shipping. I got 2 of these at a thrift store the other day. They were a Lowe's monster truck wood build kit. This one is Grave Digger. I got these for $2.98, and this one sold for $13.99 plus shipping. This was able to go out first class mail because it was still relatively light. It was only about 12 ounces, and I just took this and threw it in a bubble mailer and shipped that out. I don't know if I can count this as a real sale yet because I haven't been paid, but I did get this Star Wars Episode 2 t-shirt. This is a women's size 2XL. I have $1 into this from the thrift store, and I had it up for $24 plus shipping. I got an offer for $20 plus shipping, and I went ahead and accepted that. I haven't gotten paid, and that is something I'm noticing a lot. If you're an eBay seller and you've noticed, at least recently, that when you're getting offers, people are not paying, drop that in a comment and let me know. I think going forward, I am going to no longer accept offers, because I find probably at least a third to 50% of the time people are not paying, and when they are, they're paying days later. I require immediate payment on all my items, so it is kind of frustrating when I have to sit around and pay. So I have opened up an unpaid buyer claim on this one, and I'm waiting to get paid. I still have the Purdue Boilermakers shirt that I have not been paid on too. So going forward, if somebody makes me an offer, I'm gonna drop them a quick note just explaining that I don't accept offers straight up. I will change the price to a buy it now. I will leave it up for 24 hours. If they make the purchase, great. If not, it will revert back to the original price. And I think that's gonna help me alleviate all these unpaid buyer claims. Got this Better Call Saul t-shirt. I got this for $1 at the thrift store, and it sold for $8 plus shipping. This is another one from my buddy here. He had a PlayStation 2, it was a controller, cord, and a memory card. So I don't have anything into this. I listed it for $65 plus shipping, and it sold within the first night. So I have that going out. After all the fees and everything like that, I think we make about $27 a piece. And again, it didn't cost me anything. I just took it and I put it in the box and put some bubble wrap on it, and it ships out. So a lot of people might not like consignment because the profit margins aren't as big, but you don't have to pay for inventory. So if you have some people that are willing to get rid of some things, maybe some collectible things, I think it's worth shipping out. Next item up here, I picked up at my garage sales. I think this might have been in part 1 of my garage sale videos from this week. It was this KitchenAid mixer. I got this for $5, and it sold for $60 plus shipping. So if you're out at sales or thrift stores and stuff like that, and you see good brands, look them up on your phone and pick them up. They can be a bit of a pain to ship out, but really it was just bubble wrap and like a 15 by 12 by 10 box. Packed that up, it was nice and tight, and it went out. One thing that I like to do when I'm shipping out big things like that is I pre-package them so I don't have to worry about sticking them in a bin, forgetting to put the pieces parts with it when I dig them out to sell. It's already packed, shipped, ready to go. When it sells, I pull it out, throw a label on it, and it's good to go. When you do stuff like that, there's no chance of you screwing up your shipping as long as you took your time and made your listing correct the first time. Sold this Pontiac GTO model. This was kind of like new old stock. It was opened, but nothing had really been touched, so it didn't have the plastic wrap on it or anything, but it was vintage, and it went out for $14.99 plus shipping. I was at the thrift store the other day and I saw 3 Guitar Hero guitars, and they were priced for like $2.98 a piece. I went ahead and picked up all 3 of those. They sat around for about a week and a half before I got around to listing them. I put this one up today, and I was going to list all of them, and before I got the second listing up, this one had already sold. Again, I have $2.98 into it, and it sold for $60 plus shipping. Second one I got up here, this is for the PlayStation 2, and this one sold for $29.99, and it was supposed to be plus shipping. But if you do list on your phone, every once in a while eBay will have a little glitch, and after you list it, we'll pop it up for free shipping. So note to self, note to you guys out there, if you're new resellers or even experienced resellers, double check your listings after you put stuff up, because sometimes you get burned. I was able to ship this thing out through FedEx instead, and I was able to save a little money. It was only about $12 to ship out, so I was still able to make a profit on this. So $12 plus the $3 I spent on it, and I sold it for $29.99, so I still more than tripled my money, but it was supposed to be a much bigger return on investment. So make sure you guys are being careful and checking that out. I went through all of my other big listings and double checked to make sure I had them correct, and they're all correct, but it happens. Making a profit, keeping the customers happy, it's all good. I'm not gonna sweat a few dollars. This is another item I picked up at a garage sale. This is a Jack Nicklaus putter. It's an old one, not a super collectible one, but it still did sell, and it went out for $15.99 plus shipping. And this just goes out in the USPS tube mailers that they give you. They're not really a tube, more of a pyramid triangle type thing, but they're pretty easy and they work great for golf clubs. And we got 3 Mercari sales going out. Everything I have listed on Mercari is also listed on eBay. I don't have anything that's on there by itself. So when those sell, I just go ahead and take them off eBay. But I do like to get some extra eyes on my items. It helps things move that, might sit around for a while. So I picked up this Toy Story thing on clearance at Walmart. I got a whole bunch of stuff. I spent almost $100. I've sold a few of them. I think this is the 5th one that goes out, but I've sold 6, and this is the first one of this particular item, which is what I have the most of. This is a Buzz Lightyear versus Emperor Zurg toy with a little alien in it. New, of course, in the box. Sold comms on this were great when I picked them up, but that's the risk that you take when you do retail arbitrage, especially on clearance items and stuff like that, if I picked it up, a lot of people picked them up. So the market is kind of saturated on these. I have $3 into this. It sold for $20.99 with free shipping, and it cost about $10 to ship it out through UPS through Mercari. And I still doubled my money on it because Mercari has less fees and stuff, but it's not the profit margin I was hoping for when I picked these up. I think as time goes on and the market kind of becomes a little desaturated, I will start to sell these things for maybe a little bit bigger profit margin, but for right now, I have them all up and we'll see how it goes. I still should make money on this deal, but it's not gonna be what I hoped for. So I'm not a big fan of retail arbitrage. But you can still make money at it. Got this Miami Dolphins visor. I picked this up at a thrift store for $1, and it went out for $15 with free shipping. And then the last item I have going out is this Nike Men's 2XL training shirt. I got this for $2 at a thrift store, and it sold for $16 with free shipping. So all in all, we've had a pretty profitable week here. I'm excited for this next weekend, see how things go. It's supposed to rain this weekend, so I don't know if I'm really gonna get out and source, but it was supposed to rain the last 2 days and it didn't, so let's hope it blew over. Until then, I will see you guys next time. Please remember, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot, it really helps this channel continue to grow, and I'll see you guys next time.